Hey guys, Thogden here, and look, I'm sorry I can't do this anymore, guys. I wanted to hit 1 million subscribers with the people that I care about the most. And I'm seeing the comments, I'm seeing the pure hatred. I don't know when he's coming back. He's in New York. What's that noise?
Oh my goodness, I have missed you so much. Come on.
Thogdad!
Come!
Why are you not hugging?
Thogbear. I've missed you, mate. I've really missed you.
Dad, what about me?
Oh yeah, hello mate, how you doing? Alright.
You leave me for a month and you go...
What do you think of this? I've gone to New York, I've turned into Liam Gallagher. How beautiful is this?
You're a mug! You are a mug! I've waited a month to tell you that.
Oh, I'll tell you what I've missed.
You ran away from me to New York.
Proper English brew, come on.
It's me, it's real, all the way from Manhattan, it's Thogdad with Thogden in the same room.
The duo is back. I've got my dad back. Theo,
I am absolutely knackered. I didn't sleep last night.
Wait, is that because of the time difference? It's what, like 4 a.m. in America?
I have no idea what time it is. My head is confused. But you know what? Let's talk about the Premier League.
Let's do it. Let's go through every Game Week 5 fixture and give our thoughts on it.
Crystal Palace 1, Brentford 1, Theo. Now, Wilfred Zaha got the first goal, didn't he? And he's critical of his team.
That's it.
They went 1-0 up. They should have been more attacking.
I'm not talking about this game. I'm sorry.
Why not?
I'm not talking about this game until we get 40,000 likes.
No chance.
Because Thogdad's back. I want to see the like target bigger than it's ever been before. Thogdad's returned. We finally answered the prayers of the TDL.
A late equaliser from Vissa, and then Brentford could have won this one. But was Zaha right? Should they have been more attacking?
First of all, great goal from Wilfred. He had the absolute right to have that match interview at the end of the match and basically admit that the whole team should have kept pressing and attacking. I thought it was brilliant. Such an open-minded interview. We don't see much of that in football nowadays. Wilfred Zaha is a good character.
Michael Olise, I mean, he is a special young player, isn't he?
He's brilliant. When he put it on that left foot, it was dangerous. And yet he wasn't to score. It will happen the next few weeks. The 20-year-old is going to do a lot of damage in the Prem.
This is drop points for Crystal Palace. If they'd won this game, they'd be 7th and not 13th.
Yeah, it would be. But we have to give credit to Brentford. They kept working as a team. 11 kept fighting, and they scored that 88th minute equaliser. 1-1 draw. We both predicted Palace wins. If they really need the 3 points if they want to push for Europe, don't they?
They certainly do, Theo. Fulham 2, Brighton and Hove Albion 1, Theo. That man, Alexander Mitrovic, some people doubted his Premier League credentials. He's got 100 goals for the club. He's got a goal a game. Maybe a little bit. But you know what I like, Theo? Let's talk a bit more about Mitrovic, Theo. Because 1 goal, 2 key passes. I think he was involved in 31 duels, which means aerial duels or ground duels. An incredible player.
Yeah, it's magnificent. I can't believe you're back. It's so good to have you back. I'm sorry to say that. I think Fulham are staying up, you know. The way they played it is the difference with the system players that they have in their midfield. Palhinha and Reed work so much harder than Tom Kearney and the luxury players they had the last time they entered the Premier League. And with Anthony Robinson and Tim Ream, the American duo at the back, they actually look good this season. The ex-Bolton duo, we watched both of them in the Championship.
We did, Theo, and I'm delighted for Fulham, but Brighton, this is just a blip, isn't it? This is their first defeat of the season.
Yeah, it's weird. Lewis Dunk had a surprisingly bad own goal, but you don't want to blame him. It was a block. He was trying to stop the cross. It's understandable. And Mwepu, though, I don't want to see him in that Brighton 11 again.
Ooh.
He didn't show to me that he's good enough to put on the shirt. We both predicted draws, and they've proven us wrong, so fair play. Thogdad, let's talk about Southampton against Chelsea. You know, I want to shake your hand.
Oh, that's nice, Theo. Oh my goodness, who would do that?
The Southampton kid.
I know, it's brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a good moment.
But Theo, Southampton 2, Chelsea 1. A good goal from Lavia, by the way, to start things off.
18 years old, Belgian, City Academy lad. He's out there and he's smashing it this season, isn't he?
What is going wrong with Chelsea? Because in this game, Theo, more possession, more passes, more touches, more everything.
Yeah.
But only 1 goal. Now, there's a lot of criticism for Ziyech. Is that fair?
You've got it spot on there. The only stat that matters is goals.
Yes.
You can dominate the ball, you can play it left to right, but if you're not scoring, it's pointless.
I'm not blaming Tuchel this season, Theo.
Why?
I think players like Ziyech, I think players like Pulisic are capable of much, much more. I blame the players.
Can I say Pulisic was the only player from Chelsea not to go over to the away fans and clap them after going on that trip down to the Saints? Every player should be there saying, I'm sorry, I know you've spent this money and used up your weekend to watch us put a spiteful performance in. So that disappointed me with Christian Pulisic.
Now, after 5 games, Southampton are higher in the league than Chelsea. Who'd have thunk that, eh?
It's unbelievable. Chelsea have now conceded 8 goals in 4 matches. We would have never thought that at the start of the season. I think we both put Chelsea in our top 4. We're regretting that already, aren't we?
Absolutely, Theo. And what worries me about Chelsea is who's going to score 15 to 20 goals.
Tell me one thing, Dad. Rory Jennings has gone and made a video and said Tuchel out.
I think that is knee-jerk from Rory. I'm sorry, that is too early. He's not a bad manager. He's done good things with the team. And just because they're underperforming over 5 games, give the guy some time.
I agree.
And look at the players. The players should look at themselves in the mirror and say, we can do better.
That German gaffer is one of the best in the world at what he does. He can create an aura around a side and adapt. Give him more time and he will turn this one around. So Chelsea, do not sack Tommy Tuchel.
Leeds United 1, Everton 1, Theo. And I'm wondering, will either team be pleased with this result? Because Everton, Anthony Gordon got them off to a good start. And it looks like he's still an Everton player.
He is performing under the pressure.
Yes.
2 goals in 2 games. Will he go to Tottenham Chelsea? It's deadline day today. Will we see any last minute business?
I hope he doesn't, obviously, for Everton's sake. But I've got to ask you, Theo, Everton, they haven't won yet. There's only 3 teams who haven't won a game yet. Leicester, Wolves and Everton. Will they turn it round?
I look at the positive side for Frank Lampard's boys. 4 games gone now, unbeaten. 3 of them in the Prem. They did beat Fleetwood in the Cup. That's now 360 minutes of football without losing. On the weekend, Merseyside derby, Goodison Park. They'll be fired up. It's an early kickoff. Can they get a result? I think with a beaten down Liverpool, they can. I believe things are heading in the right direction. Will they do any last minute business today? We'll find out. But I wouldn't say it's over for them. They will kick on.
I think it's going to be a long and hard season, Theo. Now, Everton are not being battered, are they? They just need that first win from someone.
They do. And McNeil still has time to gel into it. Anthony Gordon scoring goals. Jesse Marsh lost Calvin Phillips and Rafinha at the start of the season.
Yeah.
He's replaced them with Sinistera, Brendan Aronson, Mark Rocker, Tyler Adams. List goes on. What do you think about how Leeds are doing this season?
They're doing well, aren't they, Theo? Sinistera got his first goal, didn't he? That was well taken. They look good, Theo. I'm starting to predict Leeds wins, aren't I?
Aronson,
week in, week out.
The American created the goal, but he's been scoring and creating in the last few games. It's really exciting the way they're playing.
I mean, look, that's a game they should have won. Again, they had more possession, more passes, more touches, more momentum, but they just couldn't get the second.
But they've got confidence, so let's see what happens. A 1-1 draw. We both predicted Leeds to win. We move on to next week.
Bournemouth 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. And a question again, Theo, is either team pleased with this? Now, Wolves, it's fascinating, scored only 2 goals. That's the worst in the league. But only conceded 4 goals. Only Brighton have got a better defence. So if you want to see goals, don't go and watch Wolves.
By the way, they actually looked like they created loads of chances.
Yes.
It's another problem with Wolves, where Bruno Lage, I do not blame him. They played well, made things happen. Pedro Neto, I'm still keeping him on fantasy. Worst decision since the start of the week, but I have a good feeling he actually looked better. But Raul Jimenez is not the same anymore.
I wouldn't have any Wolves attackers or midfielders in my FPL.
Maybe a defender, though.
We should have learnt that from last season. They didn't score goals. They didn't concede goals. It's boring for the fans, surely.
But let me ask you about the Cherries, Dad. Scott Parker sacked. What was your thoughts?
A little bit early. Of course, losing 9-0, I mean, it's a bit of a statement, isn't it?
Yeah, but Hasenhüttl came back from that, and now he's beating Chelsea.
The turnover of managers in the Football League is ridiculous, Theo.
Yeah.
You don't see this in business. You don't see a CEO sacked every 12 months. You know, you give them 3, 5, 10 years.
Right, understand.
And managers get sacked after a few weeks. It is ludicrous, Theo.
Yeah.
You have to win 8 to 10 games minimum in a season. You've got to beat Wolves at home. Bournemouth have got to make that ground a fortress.
They do, and it's their home form, if anything, to keep them up. Big response needed from Wolves. Southampton at home next week. If they don't win that, questions have to be asked about either the players or the manager or something. You can't go that far with... By the way, Wolves had the easiest run in the Premier League out of anyone else and still are yet to win. It's not good enough. They need to make change ASAP.
Manchester City 6, Nottingham Forest 0. And once again, we're talking about that man, Erling Haaland.
We are.
16 touches, 3 goals, Theo. He is fast, he's big, he's dangerous. He's in the right position, isn't he?
And he makes me say, Rory, where you at, mate?
I'm
wearing blue
9
today.
goals now. 9 goals in 5 games.
Well, I think he said he'd score 10 over a whole season.
I know he did, yeah.
He's finished, bro. Rory's in hiding. He was trending on Twitter last night. And not for all the good reasons, but I love the guy. Julian Alvarez as well. To score a brace. The way them two are going to link up this season. The way City are creating. They finally kept a clean sheet.
Yes.
Unbelievable from Pep Guardiola. Has he won the league already?
Well, I'll tell you what, Theo. First of all, the clean sheet is very important because they were leaking goals. 5 goals conceded in 3 hours. Not good enough if you want to win a treble.
Thanks for the FPL points, Cancelo. Just wanted to point that out.
Do you know what, Theo? He's only ever scored 2 Premier League goals.
Huh?
That surprised me.
And I remember both of them. One of them was against Newcastle, outside the box, and then that. Wow, that's weird to think, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what the BBC said, and if I'm wrong, then the BBC are wrong.
Calling out BBC.
But Theo, is the league won already? No, it's not. There's a long way to go.
Will the Forest stay up? Because that 6-0 performance was great. I was at Forest Tottenham last week, 2-0. Again, they didn't show much. I know they're missing Niakite, but Steve Cooper can't make it work. Where are the goals going to come from? Because we haven't seen it for quite some time now.
Don't judge Forest or anyone else on their result against Man City away. Because a lot of teams are going to go there and get battered.
Yeah, I have to say City and Tottenham are probably the two hardest fixtures that you want to avoid on your fixture planner when you're making a whole season at the moment, because they're the two hardest teams, it looks like, and Arsenal. So we'll figure out what happens. But City, well done. We'll give you the Prem title now.
Arsenal 2, Aston Villa 1, Theo. And it was the two Gabriels, wasn't it? Jesus and Martinelli. The only 100% record left in the league is Arsenal's.
Last game where it was Gabriel, who, the centre-back, Gabriel Magalhaes, got the own goal.
And he nearly scored as well. Let's talk about Douglas Luiz. Who would have predicted him getting a second goal Olympico?
And who would have predicted him to go to Arsenal today? He's gone to the team he placed.
I know.
He scored from a corner like he did against Bolton. I called it on stream. Josh, roll the clip.
Douglas Luiz is going to score from his corner.
The one thing Villa do is score from set pieces. I reckon Luiz goes for goal here. Ball's in, and it is direct. Oh! We just called it! That is freaky. And Wolves are letting Dendoncker go to Villa. This is one of the weirdest deadline day things I've ever expected. This is one of the weirdest deadline day moves that I've ever seen.
Musical chairs there, but what about Aston Villa? We've praised Arsenal. Villa have been terrible, haven't they, recently?
Another 0 points on board. Only winning in the cup against Bolton. Stevie G is one of the favourites to next be sacked. If you were the Villa board, Dad, what do you do?
Well, I tell you what, you look at the money spent, you look at the assets they've got on their balance sheet, in their squad, and you think, players, come on, sort it out.
Leon Bailey's back playing. They should be getting more points on the board. Now, Arsenal away at the moment is one of the most difficult fixtures to go by. And a 2-1 loss isn't too bad. But if you add that onto all the other recent Prem form, it's not good enough. I think Stevie G has one more game at it.
Every season, a team will have a bad 5 or 6 games. Even a Man City, even a Liverpool.
I'll hold you to it. Let's see Stevie G turn it around then, because I can't see him doing it at this point.
West Ham United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Spurs got off to their usual start with a breakaway goal. I know it was an own goal, but Heung-min Son would have tapped it in. But then they let it slip. Heung-min Son, he's not really performed yet, has he?
No. Kulusevski's played a massive role. Perisic has come into the team. Ryan Sessegnon.
There was the penalty that was given and then reversed. What do you think of that?
Yeah, for me, I still thought it was a penalty.
But it was head to hand, wasn't it?
But it was difficult to look at the replay. But I felt like there was a bit of hand. People are saying, oh yeah, it came off the head and then the hand, so it shouldn't count. Okay, if I head the ball and then catch it, what are you going to do? Not give a pen? Still a pen. For me, that should have been a pen. And I don't have Kane in my fantasy, so I'm happy with the decision they gave.
Yeah, but West Ham United, Theo, they came back well through Soucek, the equaliser, and then Fornals or Bowen should have finished it off, really.
Jared Bowen had a few moments. I've been saying this for the last few games. It's not the same Jared. I don't even want him to go to Qatar at this rate. He's not looking the same player. West Ham fans will agree with me. David Moyes has a good run to come up. I think they'll pick up a lot of points on the board. Best of luck to the Hammers. And Tottenham will have a great season. There's no questioning it. We both expected Spurs wins here, but it didn't happen.
But we did, Theo, but 4 dropped points. They're 4 points behind Arsenal. They're 2 points behind Man City. These could count at the end of the season.
They could, but it's a long old season. And if we're talking about points, we've got to go to Liverpool, which we'll speak about in the next game. But they're the ones missing the most, and they still want to get second place. Of course they do. Top 4. We'll see what happens.
And Liverpool against Newcastle. I switched off after 97 minutes. A 1-1 draw, Theo, eh?
Dad, 98th minute, Liverpool scored.
Oh my God, really?
I know there's
Fabio Carvalho. Wait a minute, it says he scores in the 98th minute. There was only 5 minutes of extra time.
Let's not get into it. This is a dramatic scene, Thogdad. The Newcastle coach was kicking off on the sideline. The third official had a tough job to do. But Mariner allowed play to go on. He allowed the corner in the 98th minute to be whipped in. How many times I've been sat there as a Bolton fan? EFL match, no VAR, no different cameras, no one in the earpiece, blah, blah, blah. You blow when you go past 95th. Yes, there might have been some substitutions. Nick Pope wasted a bit of time. I do not understand how that goal has been allowed. And you know what? I'll get roasted. I saw I got roasted in the comments. I saw I got roasted. People are like, you know what? Theo, you're a hipster. You're a football hipster now. I don't even know what that means, by the way.
I don't know.
Oh, you're doing things for people to... No, I'm having my opinion. I watched the game, I have my opinion. Yes, Nick Pope wasted 20 seconds of the game. But do you know how many seconds are in a minute? 60. Go find me 180 seconds of Nick Pope time wasting. Then I'll come back and I'll apologise live on camera and say that goal should have stood. Until then, I won't.
Okay, Theo. But
Sorry,
Alexander Isaac, let's talk about that man, Theo. I didn't even know he'd gone to Newcastle. What was it, 60 million quid a few days ago? I'm in Manhattan drinking a beer. I didn't know he was there.
Everyone talks about tactics and build-up play in the training ground. Geezer hasn't even had a session with the lads.
I know.
Callum Wilson was out. He got thrown straight in the team and scored 2 bangers.
And the second one was just offside, wasn't it?
I mean, I know the lino gave it, but they went to VAR. It was that close. Millimetres in it. And by the way, if Newcastle go 2-0 up at Anfield, I think that's game over. I don't even think they get a draw.
Tell me about Newcastle's season so far, Theo. 1 win, 1 loss and 3 draws. 11th place. Is that good enough? Or would the Geordies and some neutrals expect more?
Well, they've got Isaac now. They missed Bruno Guimaraes. They didn't have Callum Wilson. St. Maximan wasn't in the team. So the key players were missing against Liverpool. The Geordies should be happy. And I think they will be going on a European run by the end of the season. That's all I'm going to say. But for Liverpool, well done. Harvey Elliott, fitting in nicely, getting regular game time under Jurgen. And it's nice to see when an English player is breaking through the scene and smashing it.
I mean, I've said this before and I'll say it again. He's a mature player. For his age, it's quite incredible. He's going to play for England one day. Keep getting better, mate.
And he does watch the video. So big up to Harvey. And, mate, just keep going.
Leicester and Man United is happening later. So let's all watch that.
Let's all watch that. We won't be streaming because we play Thursday Night Football.
We do.
Thogdad, you are back. If we don't get 40,000 likes because of this mug coming back to London for the videos, then I'm never doing a video again. I'm quitting at 1 million subscribers anyway. And on that note, please subscribe. That's it from me. I'm off. Bye-bye.
See ya.